Ever get this feeling like the future's already out there just waiting for someone to catch up to it?
I know that feeling.
That's Alan Turing for you. Born back in 1912, right? No internet, no computers like we think of them.
Hard to even imagine now.
And yet, he's the one who basically dreams up the whole thing. So this deep dive we're doing, it's not just dates and facts, it's like...
Decoding how that mind of his actually worked.
Exactly. Because from cracking codes in wartime to, like, the core of what AI even is. Buckle up, folks. This is Turing, totally uncoded.
And you know what's fascinating? How young that obsession with the unsolvable starts. We're not just talking a knack for maths here.
Though I bet there was plenty of that, too.
Oh, absolutely. But it's deeper. This drive to go beyond what's known, tackle problems most wouldn't touch.
Like that kid who doesn't just solve the puzzle, but takes it apart to see why those pieces fit together.
Precisely. Turing was that kid, but on a scale that redefined what possible even meant.
Okay, so how do you go from that to, well, everything we know about computers?
It really crystallized with his 1936 paper introducing the Turing machine.
Oh, yeah, that... I'll admit the name's familiar, but...
Right, for folks who aren't knee-deep in computer science, it's like this.
Lay it on me. I'm ready for the mind-blowing.
Imagine a machine, purely theoretical at this point, but it can copy any logical steps a computer program could do.
Ooh, so not even a physical computer yet, that's still decades off.
Exactly. But the blueprint, the very idea of computation itself, that's all Turing.
So he's not just building machines, he's defining what computing means before the tech's even there to do it.
In that right there, that's the difference between inventing and truly pioneering a field.
No kidding. But it's not all just theory, right? World War II kicks off, and suddenly this very theoretical mind is in the thick of it.
Enter Enigma, the Germans' encryption device, considered unbreakable at the time.
Unbreakable how?
Each day, the settings changed, millions upon millions of possible combinations.
Okay, that's a bit more intense than me forgetting to update my wifey password.
This was wartime. Every coded message could mean lives lost, entire strategies compromised.
High stakes. So how'd Turing even begin to crack it?
It wasn't just about cracking, it was about outthinking the very system. You see, Enigma had a flaw. Not in its mechanics, but in its design.
Go on.
Messages could never encode a letter as itself, a tiny detail, but Turing, he saw it. He and his team at Bletchley Park, Britain's code-breaking hub.
Wait, Bletchley Park? That's like straight out of a spy movie.
Oh, it was just as intense, if not more so. And what they created there, the bomb machine, that changed everything.
Bomb. Sounds appropriately dramatic. What was it, some giant calculating machine?
In essence, yes. But imagine, instead of trying every combination randomly...
Which would take, what, forever?
Precisely. The bomb used that letter can't be itself flaw to eliminate millions of wrong settings simultaneously.
So elegant and efficient.
That's Turing. He didn't just brute force the problem, he outsmarted it. And the impact, massive. Some argue his work shortened the war by years, saved countless lives.
Wow. But like we said, genius doesn't always mean an easy life. As we'll see, Turing's own story takes a very different turn. It's almost hard to fathom, right? After all that, the code-breaking, the war hero stuff.
Because we can't forget the context. 1950s, Britain.
Very different world.
To put it mildly, homosexuality was illegal. Think about that for a moment.
It's more than a law. It's about how society viewed.
Identity, love, what it means to be human even. And Turing's life, his very being, it clashed with that.
Head-on collision, it sounds like. What happened?
1952, his relationship with another man becomes known. He's arrested.
Arrested for? What exactly were the charges?
Gross indecency, they called it. The words themselves are absurd now, but back then...
The weight of that, just...
Yeah.
After everything you'd done for his country.
It's unimaginable, the cruelty. He was given a choice. Prison or...
Or what? I mean, what other option was there?
Chemical castration, hormone therapy, forced on him as a treatment. The impact, both physically, mentally.
To have your very self treated as a crime. It's just heartbreaking. Did he ever speak about it? I mean, what could you even say?
It's a part of his story shrouded in silence. What we do know is, even under that pressure, his mind, it kept going.
What do you mean?
He dove into mathematical biology, for one. Patterns in nature, almost like code in the natural world.
Wow. So even then, it's still about decoding something.
But even more famously, he starts asking this question. Can machines think like us?
Wait, that's Turing. The Turing test, right? I always thought that was way later, like futuristic stuff.
Nope, that's him. He lays out this thought experiment. If a machine talks to you and you can't tell it's not human, is it thinking then?
That's getting into some deep philosophical territory.
Exactly. Turing wasn't just about building machines, he was probing what it means to think, to be
Did
conscious.
he have an answer? Did he think machines could actually get there?
That's the beauty of it. He wasn't giving answers, he was asking the right questions. Questions we're still grappling with today about AI, ethics, the whole thing.
So even facing all that injustice, he's still pushing the boundaries of what's possible. For humanity, even.
It makes you wonder, what else could he have achieved, given time, acceptance? What were we robbed of by how he was treated?
It's not just him, right? How many other minds, other stories like this?
Exactly. Turing's story is both a triumph of genius and a stark warning about what we lose when we let prejudice win.
Yeah, it really makes you think about all the what ifs, right?
Yeah.
The potential lost, not just for Turing himself, but for all of us.
And it underscores something we often overlook. Progress isn't some neat, straight line. It's messy, full of wrong turns, setbacks,
Yeah.
moments of brilliance right alongside terrible injustices.
We can't just look back and go, oh, well, that was then, and pat ourselves on the back.
Because Turing's story, it's not some isolated incident. It makes you wonder how many other Turings are out there right now, facing those same barriers.
Their voices unheard, their brilliance stifled just because.
The world around them refuses to see their worth, and that's precisely why Turing's legacy is so powerful, yet so bittersweet,
Because he represents the heights of human ingenuity, but also.
The very real cost of prejudice. And it's on all of us to make sure that everyone, no matter who they are, has the freedom.
To explore their full potential no matter what.
Absolutely. To decode their own unique genius the way Turing decoded those Enigma messages.
And it's funny, in a way, his work on AI, on whether machines can think, it feels even more relevant now.
How so?
It's like he's forcing us to look inward, examine our own humanity, our capacity for good, yeah, but also.
The capacity for cruelty, for blindness to the potential right in front of us.
Exactly. And just like that Turing test challenged what we thought about machines thinking. Turing's life challenges us to build a world worthy of the minds that exist in it.
A world where diversity isn't just tolerated, but celebrated.
Because that's where true progress comes from, right?
Yeah.
All those different perspectives, those unique ways of seeing the world.
It's the wellspring of ingenuity, and we can't afford to waste that anymore.
So where do we go from here? What's the takeaway beyond the facts of his life?
Simple, but not easy. We ensure that nobody has to choose between who they are and what they aspire to become.
It's a heavy thing to think about, but crucial nonetheless. Turing's story, it's not just history.
It's a call to action for all of us.
To build that future, the one he glimpsed to the lens of math and code where everyone has the chance to thrive.
To contribute, to decode their own potential, just as Alan Turing did, against all odds.
And on that note, we end this deep dive into the extraordinary, the heartbreaking, and ultimately hopeful legacy of Alan Turing. We hope you'll take his story with you, not just as a tale of genius, but as a reminder of the work we still have to do to build a world truly worthy of it.